As investigators continue to probe last week's deadly crash of Air India Flight AI171, new revelations have emerged, not only about the engine histories of the ill-fated Boeing 7878, but also about safety violations tied to the airline's Airbus fleet. In a separate set of developments, unrelated to the crash but equally concerning, India's aviation regulator has issued formal warnings to Air India after discovering that 3 Airbus aircraft had been operated without completing mandatory safety inspections on critical emergency equipment, namely escape slides. At the same time, airline chairman Chandrasekaran has confirmed that one of the engines on the crashed Dreamliner was brand new, while the other had not yet reached its scheduled maintenance date. Regulator flags unchecked escape slides on Airbus aircraft. Separate from the crash, a Reuters investigation has uncovered a warning issued to Air India by the Directorate General of Civil Aviation, DGCA. The regulator found that 3 Airbus aircraft had been operated without completing overdue inspections on their emergency escape slides, and accused the airline of delays in addressing the violations. According to DGCA documentation, one Airbus A320 operated internationally to destinations such as Dubai, Riyadh, and Jeddah for more than a month past its inspection deadline, before finally being serviced on May 15th. A second case involved an Airbus A319 on domestic routes, which was over 3 months overdue for checks, while the third aircraft had a 2-day delay. These cases indicate that aircraft were operated with expired or unverified emergency equipment, which is a violation of standard airworthiness and safety requirements, the DGCA stated. The report further criticized Air India for its failure to submit timely compliance responses, describing the situation as a weak procedural control and oversight. Air India, now under Tata Group ownership since 2022, acknowledged the oversight and said it is accelerating the verification of all maintenance records, including escape slide inspections. The airline said the issue came to light in one case when an engineer from AI Engineering Services accidentally deployed an escape slide during maintenance. Both DGCA and Airbus declined to comment on the matter. Crashed Dreamliner had new and maintained engines, chairman says. Speaking to Times Now, Chandrasekaran clarified that both engines of Flight AI171 had clean operational histories. The right engine was a new engine put in March 2025. The left engine was last serviced in 2023 and due for its next maintenance check in December 2025, he stated. At least 270 people, most of them passengers, died on June 12 when Flight AI171, a London-bound Boeing 7878 Dreamliner, crashed less than a minute after takeoff from Ahmedabad Airport in western India. Only one person survived. Investigators are currently sifting through debris and decoding flight data and cockpit voice recordings retrieved from the aircraft's black boxes in an attempt to reconstruct the jet's final moments and determine the cause of the crash. There are a lot of speculations and a lot of theories. But the fact that I know so far is this particular aircraft, this specific tail number has a clean history, Chandrasekaran emphasized. I am told by all the experts that the black box and recorders will definitely tell the story. So we just have to wait for that. Expert: engine age doesn't indicate engine health. Aviation expert Kishore Chinta, formerly with India's Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau, told the BBC that the age of an engine doesn't necessarily reflect its health, particularly with the Gen X-1B engines used on Boeing 787 aircraft. The age of the engine has no bearing on the health of the engine, especially for the Gen X-1B engines, Chinta explained. A new engine isn't automatically healthy, and an older engine isn't necessarily unsafe. Unlike older engines, the Gen X-1B, produced by GE Aerospace, is equipped with full authority digital engine control, FADEC, which constantly monitors engine performance in real time. Servicing decisions are driven by this data, along with physical inspections, rather than a fixed calendar. However, Chinta noted that certain components known as life-limited parts, LLPs, still carry fixed lifespans, typically 15,000 to 20,000 cycles, where each engine start and shutdown counts as one cycle. Crash fallout prompts, flight cuts, fleet inspections. As investigations continue, Air India announced a 15% reduction in its international wide-body operations through mid-July, citing fallout from the crash. A company statement released Wednesday cited a mix of compounding circumstances, including heightened safety checks, crew caution, and Middle East tensions. The airline also confirmed that 26 of its 33 Boeing 7878 and 7879 aircraft have been inspected and cleared for service. India's aviation regulator had mandated extra inspections of the Dreamliner fleet as a preventive measure following the crash. Air India said the remaining aircraft will be inspected in the coming days, and its Boeing 777 fleet will also undergo enhanced safety checks. The curtailments are a painful measure to take, but are necessary following a devastating event which we are still working through, and an unusual combination of external events, the statement read. Legal and regulatory consequences loom. Former legal advisor Vibhuti Singh from India's Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau described the oversight as very serious. In the event of an accident, if the slides don't open, it can lead to serious injuries. According to DGCA, airworthiness certificates are deemed suspended for aircraft that miss required safety checks. The warning notices and investigation report were signed by Animesh Garg, Deputy Director of Airworthiness, and addressed to Air India CEO Campbell Wilson and the airline's heads of airworthiness quality and planning. A senior Indian aviation lawyer noted that such violations typically carry civil and financial penalties for both individual executives and the airline itself. In earlier comments to Reuters, CEO Wilson cited global spare part shortages as a factor disproportionately affecting Air India, given its older fleet, many aircraft having not been refurbished since delivery in 2010-2011. Systemic gaps and reputation at risk. India's civil aviation regulator has been increasingly active in penalizing safety lapses. Earlier this year, Parliament was informed that airlines had been warned or fined in 23 safety-related cases in 2024, with 12 of them involving Air India or Air India Express. One such case involved unauthorized cockpit entry, while the largest fine, $127,000, was imposed on Air India for insufficient oxygen on a flight to San Francisco. The fatal crash and subsequent revelations pose significant risks to Air India's public image and transformation plans. After years of traveler complaints and operational difficulties, the airline has been attempting a turnaround under Tata Sons, which also owns Tetley Tea and Jaguar Land Rover. Following the crash, Chairman Chandrasekaran urged staff to stay focused and committed to building a safer, stronger airline, even as external scrutiny intensifies. Meanwhile, the DGCA's latest report criticized internal oversight mechanisms within Air India, stating, "Despite prior notifications and identified deficiencies, the organization's internal quality and planning departments failed to implement effective corrective action, indicating systemic control failure." Thanks for watching the video. If you found this report informative, please consider sharing it with others who care about aviation safety and accountability. Stay safe and stay informed.